Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the Houston Oilers and the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with their opponents. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, none other than Cam Newton.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Faced for their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board. They're able to avoid that 3 and out. Well, look now at our starting defense. They interplay here 24th in the league against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
They'll try the air now with Newton. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Newton now to throw. Setting up the screen to Kelly. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game. And
down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, a 22.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football...
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Cam Newton, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. And whatever they said appears to have worked. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
Brandon, there's 2 weeks to go in the regular season, so you know the pressure is ramped up in so many ways. People have to win games, try and get their bonuses, the whole deal. But how about trying to close out an MVP award?
Just 2 weeks to go. There has to be a lot of pressure, though. We talked about that in previous weeks, sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, he can talk all he wants about, I don't listen to that, and there's no pressure. All we're doing is trying to win games. He knows, we all know, he's been the one who's been leading the pack. Let's see if he can close it out.
The numbers on the ground for Hyde last week. 13 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game, because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. It didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working. And they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Defensively, here are the starters for Carolina. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Winston now. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Carolina getting set to take the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to. Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Come on now. Tight right. That's it.
Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here we go.
From the 50, Newton. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was...
The Panthers on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Newton. Sideline throw, that's caught by Moore. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Jameis to throw it. And that'll be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. First down, Winston. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll give to Hyde. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. This is McCaffrey on the give. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
McCaffrey on the counter. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Kendall Beckwith on the stop.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On second down, here's Newton. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session if he's saying, hey, run that one back, coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And now out comes Houston. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Winston buying time to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Second down, Winston. And break, the tight end's got it. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. First target, first catch, and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Out to the left there and complete to Howard. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And back to the ground. High. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it third down. Working out of the gun, Winston. Out to the flat for Hyde. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 11 and a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Over the middle to Evans. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. A 2nd down throw for Winston. And he rifles one incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now Winston steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. And Zerline's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
We got the set. 180.
On 1st down, it's Newton. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 15 yards through the air on a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
23 yards on the play.
That next teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, Newton again. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To the air again, Newton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Torrey Smith in the final seconds of the first half. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They start the drive with Hyde. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And they are just about ready to head to halftime with the Dolphins on top. Ryan Tannehill looking good. 2 touchdown passes. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Matthew Stafford has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Chris Hogan, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. And now out comes Houston. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Winston again. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he slides to avoid the hit. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too. And you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people. Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run for it with Hyde. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Carlos Hyde with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys have made this a one-score game now. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. McCaffrey following the penalty. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
180. Gun.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Again, they run again. It's McCaffrey. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Flush to his right. Shedding the tackle, and it gives him some room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And pulled up, and he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Gano the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. And let's look at Carlos Hyde now. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to, but as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again, it's Hyde. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Winston now to throw on 1st down. Throw left side complete. It's Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Jameis now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
To throw, Winston. Forced out to his left. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They have certainly looked his way in this 3rd quarter. Another catch, and it's good for a 1st down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Winston. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation, because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, 2nd half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Here's Hyde, 3rd and goal. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Carlos Hyde with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And his guys are able to make this a close game again. And it's up and good. Zerline out now to kick this one away. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw here's incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Newton now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
To throw on second down is Newton. And his throw is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
From the gun on third down, Newton. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Noah Spence in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden, they're down. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. So they are holding down one of the final wild card spots. And with 2 weeks to go, there are others kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And imagine what the talk has been all week within their locker room. And it's really, let's rely on ourselves, because they could get help and still get to the playoffs. But who wants that? Go out, win the game, take care of things yourself, and then you don't have anything else to worry about. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Mario Addison in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really...
And Winston lost the football. And the Panthers have recovered.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after it. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Here's McCaffrey. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So after 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden, it's 3rd and goal at the 1.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And now out comes Houston. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Evans. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Winston. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Jameis again. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. They go play action. Winston looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Howard. And the Panthers have recovered.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drop.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 46.
Set. Ready.
Following the fumble recovery, Newton firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And fights him off. Steps away. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Set.
3rd and 2, Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Jameis to throw it. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Winston now. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On play action, Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And now another one thrown incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And Winston lost the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game, and all of them started with ball security in some form.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a 1st down.
Foul, face mask, defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
They'll hand it off to Kelly, and he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a 5-yard pickup, but spotted a few chain links short of the first, so a little bit of decision time here coming up on 4th down. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. And Godot's kick is right through. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
We get a look at the Panthers defense now. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say,
the Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Mario Addison in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Dante Jackson picks it, and the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Carolina, their hopes of a 500 season stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Houston Texans next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Arizona Cardinals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.